lovelies, welcome back to Black Moon Coven. So in this video today, we are going to be focusing on making a witch's ladder. So what is a witch's ladder? Well, it's a piece of string that ties in 9 items together to a specific purpose, intention, spell, whatever you want to do. It's a type of cord folk magic that can be used for basically anything. It's a limitless method that you can use for love, protection, different spells. You could use it for meditation. When you're counting your breaths, you could use it for ritual work. You can use a witch's ladder for basically anything. Now, the witch's ladders, if you type in on Pinterest or the internet or whatever, you'll see that a lot of them are made out of gorgeous feathers or bones or whatever. I love those. Those are so cool. But you can make them out of anything. You can make them out of anything. You can make all of the items the same. You can make all the items different. Magic and witchcraft is limitless. So definitely think about what you want to do, what you want it to represent, things like that. So we are going to be making a witch's ladder right here, right now. I'm going to show you guys how I make a witch's ladder for my home, just to give it protection, abundance, fertility, structure and balance, and all of that good stuff. So you're going to need a string. You can use twine, hemp cord, leather, chain, whatever you want to do, as long as it holds the 9 items on it. So why 9 items? That's because 9 is a sacred number. It's very balanced. It's very structured. It's a sacred, divine type of number. So you're going to use 9 different items. So again, you're going to need string, scissors, of course, and then your 9 different items to represent whatever you want it to portray. So we're going to be hanging this witch's ladder above my door. I already have one there, which I love, but I'm going to be kind of making another one. I love making witches ladders. I think they're freaking awesome, and I think that the possibilities are endless, and I love doing cord magic and folk magic and that type of stuff. So enough babbling. Let me show you guys the 9 items that I picked, give you an example of kind of why I picked those items, and you guys can pick the same items. You can do different ones. Maybe this will inspire you to make your own. Either way, here we go. So I picked bay leaves, okay, some pine needles, some dried nice pine needles, a pentacle, some tree bark, nice little pine cone, rosemary stalk. Always keep the stock of your herbs and things, because then you could do projects like this. Some ivy stock for my ivy plant. Some grapevines. Always keep your grapevines because they're very good for fertility and protection and things. And a bell. I always put a bell on my witch's ladder to kind of ring in spirit and ghosts and things like that. So here we go. Let's begin. Now, I'm going to go to 2 different methods on how I do things. I do my witch's ladders pretty instinctually, so I don't really do any chants or anything. I kind of construct it, and as I'm doing each item, as I'm sealing it onto the witch's ladder, I'm focusing that item's intention into the whole project itself. Now, however, there is a common way to do a witch's ladder, which is doing a chant along with it. So if you just type in how to make a witch's ladder on Pinterest, on Google, or whatever, I'm using the website witchesofthecraft.com. Normally, I don't do this chant just because I don't find it necessary. Magic is very instinctual. It should come from within. So I just kind of feel things out and do it as I go. So there is a chant that they do for each knot, and you can find that on that website. You can find it basically anywhere, but I'm just going to read it. By knot 1, the spell's begun. By knot 2, the magic comes true. By knot 3, so shall it be. By knot 4, this power is stored. By knot 5, my will shall drive. By knot 6, the spell I fix. By knot 7, the future I leave in. By knot 8, my will be fate. By knot 9, what is done is mine. So just a little rhyme to kind of help you put the things together. But again, it's not totally necessary. You can do it for sure. You don't have to, whatever. So I'm going to just do it how I usually do it. And if you guys want the actual chant that I just read, I'm going to link that down below. Just if you guys want that extra added oomph to your spell work. So here we go. We're going to select a piece of string. Now the witch's ladder, this will be enough string right here. Probably 15 inches, maybe a little less, I don't know. But you're not gonna need all that much. Especially if you put all of your knots close together, you are gonna need some string just because the knots do take up some string. So I'm gonna cut it right around there. So we have about 15 inches of string. So think of your string as your base. So with every spell work and things like that, there is a base. Like a jar spell, the base will be the jar. You know, whatever type of spell, there is a base. So this is your base, this is your structure, this is how you're going to intertwine all of these things. Now, strings are very symbolic in chord magic. Obviously, they make up the whole genre. So putting knots into the string will signify that you're putting all of these items, all of their intentions and associations into the string to complete a purpose. So here we go. First, you just select whichever item you want to do first. So I'm going to put this pine cone on first. So I select probably about this much into the actual witch's ladder, and I'm just going to tie the pine cone on top, just like that, and I'm going to make a knot. Now, as I'm making this knot, I'm thinking about the magic of the pine cone. I'm thinking about its protection value, its abundance, its fertility purposes, its just really great purposes for the home and everything else. Now, if you wanted just to tie a bunch of pine cones to this, that's totally fine. That's completely up to you. So we made a knot. This is our first one. So if you wanted to do the chant, you would do it while you are making the knot. So the next piece I'm going to do is a rosemary stalk. So I'm just going to break this in half, just like that. So it's smaller. And put it a little bit, you know, right by the pine cone, but not touching the pine cone or overlapping it or anything. So again, we make a knot and seal it in place, and think about the rosemary's properties. Protection, you know, love. There's a whole bunch of properties you could think about. And I love the smell of rosemary. So great. But rosemary is another great herb for the home. So as you're sealing it, just think about that. So yeah, like I said, witch's ladders come in a variety of things. You could use herbs, you can use basically anything for a witch's ladder, honestly. So next we're going to put some of these grape stems. And grapes, like I said, are great for fertility. That doesn't mean just like baby making. It could be for money, it could be for just a fertile, nice home, you know, happiness, all that stuff. So we're going to put that on there. And you're just going to think about the grapes and how they grew and all the fertility properties they hold and all the protection and mystical properties that they have. And you're going to seal it in place. So now we have 3 items on our witch's ladder. So next, I'm going to do the pentacle. I like to kind of shape things up a little bit. You know, herbs, then a solid item, then whatever. So I made quite a few of these for friends, family, just because they're really great to have in the home. You hang it above your door, and it's kind of just like a welcoming, protecting type of thing. So we have the pentacle on there. Again, think about the pentacle's magical properties. Then next, we're going to do this ivy leaf branch. And if the leaves are going to fall off, that's totally natural. It's nothing to be concerned about. It won't ruin the witch's ladder. It won't do anything to it. So don't concern yourself so much if it falls off, or if the, you know, the stem breaks or anything, don't concern yourself so much with that. That just means it served its purpose. But right now we have an ivy stem on here, and ivy is really, yeah, there goes a leaf right now. So ivy is really great for the home, you know, protection, feminine power, all that good stuff. And then next, I'm going to put these pine needles on there. Pine needles are great for like prosperity, abundance. A lot of the herbs have the same properties, but that's basically what you think the herbs mean. Okay. Next, we're going to do the tree bark, kind of for structure and for the home. So as you're just tying it, just think about all of these items and how they relate to you, how they relate to the home, and what you want each item to do. So then we're going to do bay leaves. Now, the bay leaves are going to crackle, so this is my little witch tip. You see there's a spine in the middle of the bay leaf. So what you're going to do is just fold the bay leaf along the spine, and then just harvest that spine of the bay leaf and tie it up just like we did with the pine needles. So there's the spine of the bay leaf. We'll do 2 just for good measure. You could always never have enough bay leaves in magic, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to do 2 spines, and they're going to crackle because, you know, they're bay leaves, they're really fragile. And don't worry about your spacing or anything like that. This is totally instinctual. Folk magic is just whatever you have on hand. It's very from the heart. So don't worry about, you know, your spaces and if it's not perfect or anything, because it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. So the last part of our witch's ladder is going to be our bell. I put bells on all of them just because they ring nicely and they'll bring in spirits and stuff like that. Good stuff for the home. Ring in prosperity type of thing. So we're just going to knot it up. And there we go. So here's our funky folk magic witch's ladder. I love making witch's ladders. Here we go. So now you can hang it whichever way you choose. You want the bell on the bottom, you want it on top, whatever. You could hang this just right outside your door like this, just resembling a ladder right next to your door or any passageway. Or you can even put it in a circle and hang it on your doorknob. So either way, it's just a really pretty, fun, super witchy type of looking thing, and I love folk magic because it just looks so witchy and cool. So there we go. There is our witch's ladder that I just made, and that took like no time at all. Again, you could use a chant, you can do it very instinctually, you can do it whatever. Just know that it's cord magic, so every time you seal that knot, you are sealing the energy, you're sealing the association of that item into the actual spell. So there you go. And like I said, you can use cord magic and the witch's ladder because it's the same thing. It falls under the same method. But you could use it for love spells, protection, whatever spells you want to do. Cord magic is very versatile, and so are witch's ladders. So if you're having trouble filling in 9 different items, you can use things like pentacles, you can use things like crystals, herbs, different things, feathers, sticks, stones, whatever you want to do, just to fill up your 9 items, because I know sometimes it's kind of hard to find 9 things that associate with something. And if you're stuck, try to think of, okay, if you're doing a love spell, obviously roses would be on the witch's ladder. Maybe a little rose quartz, a little grape leaves, grapevines, that type of thing. But then also think about, okay, what kind of love do you want? Do you want it to be sweet? Do you want it to be cleansed and blessed? You could put oranges or, dried lemons or whatever you want on your witch's ladder. Your creativity is really endless here. It's very, very endless. It's limitless. You can do whatever you really want. So I'm really happy with this witch's ladder. I think it's super cool, super witchy, super fun. Just something to give to someone for their new house, their new home, or if you want to just hang it above your window or your door, hang it above any passageway, just to make sure you filter out your energy. So that is it. That is our little cord magic video for today, our little DIY. There will be more cord magic videos, DIYs, things like that. Follow me on all the pagan and witches aminos because I am posting a cord magic advanced spell today. So definitely follow me on there. I'm doing an eternal knot love spell. So follow me on there for that because it's going to incorporate cord magic, jar magic, sealing, calling on deities, all of that good advanced stuff. Follow me on there, and as always, have a beautiful rest of your day.